located in the little smiling coast of the West Africa, which is called the Gambia, and our studios again at the West Coast region side of Gambia here in Farato. I'm back again with another explosive, of course, called Sports 360 Light. And today, no other than another one of my favorite TV and sport presenter, a journalist by the name Parliament Fati, better known as Pafati LSTV1. Pafati, welcome again to your home. This is not you no more a guest.
Thank you very much, Big Sam. And of course, it's always a pleasure to be here. I think this is my second
Yeah,
appearance
yeah.
on Atlantic TV, but it's always great to be back here. And then we are back here to talk about what we always do them.
Thank you very much, Parliament Fati, better known as Pafati LSTV1. And of course, we've seen a tsunami of female sports journalists, especially in the time of tech. I don't know whether these people are connected with gadgets. They will always want camera. They will always want. They're so good. I've seen most of them into photographing, videoing, something like that.
Yeah, I think Big Sam, it is definitely great to see a good number of female sports journalists getting into photography and then filming. And I think it is definitely making the industry booming. Initially it was very challenging to see female sports journalists. At some point, they will tend to be as reserved as possible.
Yeah.
But now they are getting into the field and also going into Northern matches. You see a whole lot of them, and then I can boldly tell you they are definitely doing a massive thing, because most of the videos or photos that we are currently getting from our live matches and also during Northern matches are mostly coming from female photographers. So I think all said and done, they are doing a massive job as far as the field of photography and journalism is concerned.
I know. In fact, even here I have a problem. My chief editor is complaining that any attachment that comes will always go to the will always go to camera department. Matar, and he's accusing Matar of taking all the.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the passion is what they follow.
Yeah, they definitely have the passion, and then this is what is keeping them moving. It is very tedious to go to Northern matches or league matches to make sure you get very good photos. I think Big Sam, this is also contributing immensely to the development of our sports. Looking initially, I used to say this. Initially, you go to matches, hardly you see very good photos coming from either players. Sometimes myself, I will have very good photos coming from sports photographers, and then most of the times I wouldn't even expect it. I will just go home and then somebody will just send me those photos. I think they are doing a massive thing, and I think it is definitely giving us a whole lot of development as far as photography and very good images coming from our players, technical team, and also the sports journalists as well.
In the meantime, I most sincerely give the, honor and thanks to Sergio Balde, my second vice president at Sport Journalism. In fact, Sergio break the barriers of women in photography and journalism. In fact, her breakthrough comes at the AFCON. And then since then, we've seen a tsunami, a lot of ladies, women, girls getting into it. So Sergio, thank you so much. In fact, and the whole Women Sports Journalists Commission that she's the president of that commission. Thank you so much. And then keep it up. And ladies, we encourage you to be out there. Moving on, Pa, this is not a praise. This question. It's not a press, it's something true that we are seeing all over. I stand and because normally I host football games, especially when it comes to finals. I said LSTV1, Gambia's #1 sports TV. And this is true. It's not about you. Anywhere we go, Navetan, games everywhere, you will always go live. People will be their cars driving, their home, and then they will, in Europe, everywhere, in America, they will be watching. Why? LSTV1, one of the country's best.
Big Sam, I think this has been a great move by LSTV. You could remember there was a time the TV was very much focused only on politics and some other social activities. But there was a time when my boss contacted and said, Pa, we also need to venture into sports. And sports, to be specific, we have to start bringing live matches. Big Sam, and I can say this was one of the turning points, if not the turning points for LSTV1, because I could remember at a time when we were only focused on politics and other activities. Most of the people don't even know LSTV. You go to some of the places, you talk to people about LSTV, they will tell you, where is this TV, where are they located? But now I can boldly say, wherever you go to, you talk about LSTV, people will say we know LSTV. Sometimes moving around, when I am moving in town, it is very challenging. I'll meet with people and they will tell me, Pa, or some will even tell me LSTV1. So I think LSTV has definitely reached a whole lot of people across the length and breadth of the country, not only in the Gambia. Most of the people that are watching live matches are these people that are not even in the Gambia, because they always want to feel home. Whenever there are live matches, I receive overwhelming a number of messages from people, most especially in the diaspora, telling me, are you going to feature this match? Are you going to feature this match? Sometimes we have classes wherein we are expected to be in Brikama. A group of people will contact us from Serekunda to say, Pa, are you coming to Serekunda? Or Bakau, are you coming to Bakau? Or as far as URR, people are contacting us to say, we want you to come down to URR to see how you are also able to stream our matches. So I think we've been to URR, we've been to CRR, we've been to North Bank region, we've been to Brikama. That's our home. Serekunda is west, and every destination in the Gambia. So I think LSTV1 getting into live streaming of matches has definitely enabled a whole lot of Gambians at home and diaspora to be at their comfort zone, most especially at home, and also watch the matches on their beds, in their rooms, in their houses. So I think the broadcasting of the live matches has definitely been a turning point for LSTV.
But I didn't hear you talk about Masuki and LRR.
Yes, we've been to LRR. We've been to LRR, and we've also received a whole lot of messages from people around telling us, we want you to come here. You could remember we went to the Soma Mini Stadium on multiple occasions. So I think we've almost touched down every angle of this country in terms of live streaming of the matches. And I can tell you, every week the number of people that are contacting us for live coverages is just amazing. And I think like Brikama will be like, people will tell us, we also want you to leave Brikama and come to our area. Almost every time you are in Brikama. So we will always tell them the material that we are using for live streaming is also not enough, because our expectation is to at least to have 2 or 3 live streaming materials, where if we have classes of matches, we can be coming live in Bakau and simultaneously in Brikama, maybe in Serekunda East, and also coming in simultaneously in Serekunda West. So I think this is just a gradual process, but we will definitely want to reach there, so that at least every Gambian will have the chance to watch your game at the comfort zone live on LSTV1.
But how and why? Is it a passion or what?
Yes, this field is definitely a passion for me. Big Sam, looking at this, even if I am at home, sometimes, interestingly, I'll be in my room alone, and then I will try to go over some of the videos. Hardly I during matches I don't even check, but when I get home, I will also go back to the videos, check and listen to myself. Sometimes we are not perfect, we might make errors, and then people that are watching can also give us their feelings, how they feel about how we do it. So this is a learning process. But also, Big Sam, this is one of my biggest passions. If I should tell you there is any passion that I have currently, it is to make sure I develop as a match commentator on daily basis. And then this is what is definitely keep pushing me as far as my journey is concerned. Though it's a very short one. You could remember I started this maybe a year or two ago.
It's not
a year or two ago. Along the line, we keep improving, and I think those also around us, Big Sam and some of the veteran sports journalists that have been doing there. Big Sam, let me tell you, most of the time after matches, veteran sports journalists who are doing commentary will tell me, Pa, yes, you are doing well, but we want you to do this, and do that.
Awesome.
And then in such a thing, I also learn a whole lot of things
blending
from them.
in.
Yeah, so they will always give me a whole lot of guidance, and I think I am very much appreciative to those people. We are not perfect in all what we are doing. We are just coming into this field as newcomers, and then we will definitely open our doors to every veteran sports journalist. We've been listening to Big Sam. We've been listening to a whole lot of match commentators. Then we were going to school. I could remember when I was going to school in Brikama, it was like coming to FMB was like a passion for me. So then I was living in Jeddah. So just having the chance to come to the gate of FMB, just have a glance of the studio was another thing for us, you could remember. And now I have the chance to get to every studio as a sports journalist, and then people will start inviting me to their programs. It's like this is a long time admiration, ambition for me, and then now I am definitely living in this, Big Sam.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit before we move to our Nawetan coverage. Any contract, like from GFF to divisional team or to Nawetan team, as far as LSTV is concerned?
Yes, Big Sam, our ambition is to at least have a bigger partnership with the federation.
Yeah.
That is to say, we are given the opportunity to stream or live stream the GFF Men's Division 1, 2, and every other league matches in the Gambia, because we want to make sure the matches reaches every doorstep of every Gambian. Because Big Sam, sometimes you talk to people about, like you go to places, say it is a fixture between Manchester United and Chelsea today. Everybody will say, wow, we want to watch the game. But sometimes you come to the Gambia, you say, Fortune is playing against Real de Banjul. Some people will even tell you, we don't even know Real de Banjul, or we don't even watch those matches. So there is time, this is the very much best of times for us to at least develop our sports. How do we develop it? At least to give opportunity to TV stations to make sure they televise our matches live. For example, if Real de Banjul is playing, there should be a platform that should be there to live stream the match. And that has been our biggest ambition, to at least have a contract with the federation to live stream every match. But I think when we came, we once contacted the federation, and then the information we received was like there is a partnership between Gambia Football Federation and FIFA Plus, which we really accepted, and then they are the people that are currently streaming matches. But even though they are streaming the matches, we are still receiving contracts from teams to say, we want you to come down and record our matches for us. Teams like Fortune, we are doing that with them. For Fortune Football Club, there is a strong partnership between LSTV1 and Fortune, because every match of Fortune Football Club in the Nawetan, in the male division 1, and also in the female division, all their matches are mostly broadcasted live on LSTV1 or recorded by LSTV1. And also we have partnership. Initially, you could remember we had one with College Stars. We were streaming all their matches, and then a whole lot of divisional teams started contacting us to say, Pa, we want you to cover our matches. But I think the restriction here is GFF is having a partnership with FIFA Plus that is stopping LSTV1 from streaming most of the divisional matches live. But coming down to Nawetan and also third division matches, we mostly receive contacts from teams to say, we want you to go there and stream our matches based on their matches. I think this is what we are currently receiving. Yes.
And West Coast Region Zonals also.
Yeah, exactly. I think the turning point for LSTV was also the West Coast Zonal. When Sergio Ganzo and the team of West Coast Region Zonal Championship contacted and said, Pa, we wanted you to start. And then from there, a whole lot of people came to realize what LSTV1 is doing. And then Big Sam now, alhamdulillah, we are receiving a whole lot of contacts from teams, and also both in the division and also Nawetan, to say we want LSTV to come and stream our matches. Definitely we are very much appreciative to Zambians at home and also abroad.
Thank you. Big thanks to Parliament Fatih, the man behind the micro, and Usman, the #1 cameraman. Thank you so much. Moving up, LSTV covered Gambia League. Let's say third, second, and fourth. It's close and maybe will be open later on, but tell us about last season. A little bit about the games that you cover, or one of the games that you think it was captivating.
Yes, I think the division is improving season by season. Initially, it was very difficult for Gambians to watch the division matches, and I think people have now started building interest in making sure they start watching our matches. I could tell you, the GFF Division 1 last season was very tough, and then every year is going to be very tough. Though Real de Banjul has been winning it for 3 consecutive times, and then you talk to some of the fans, they will tell you it is now their own league, that is Real de Banjul. But every year they receive a whole lot of challenges from teams like Fortune, Falcons, and some other fourth division teams. And I think it is definitely captivating to be at most of the parks to live stream matches. I could remember one of the games that I enjoyed was Real de Banjul against Fortune in Basori. That was few matches before the end of the GFF Men's Division 1. Then Real de Banjul needed a victory against Fortune to be crowned champions, and Fortune were also trying to deprive Real de Banjul from being crowned champions on that day. Okay. So it was a great game. Real de Banjul took an early advantage. 2-0 they led, and Fortune rallied behind. They came from behind and then got the nail-biting 2-2 scoreline at the Live Your Dreams football field in Basori. That game was definitely one of the games that I really enjoyed as a match commentator. It was definitely a tough one for both Real de Banjul and Fortune, and then they were able to at least secure a point. That Real de Banjul only needed a point, you could remember, and then they were able to be crowned champions of 2024-25 GFF Men's Division 1. So I think the division is definitely first class. I think we have some struggles along the way in terms of the structures where we used to play our matches and all that not. But I think all said and done, players are improving, and also the division, going by the numbers, people are definitely having interest in terms of watching divisional matches.
Before we move out from that, you talk about pitches infrastructure. Infrastructure, that is the football is where it is played much.
Matches because they are playing all their home matches in Brikama. And then I can also tell you there are a whole lot of teams that are currently working on how to have their grounds. TMT is working on it. We've also made to understand that Koli Stars is also working on theirs. We have never been there, and then a whole lot of other clubs that are eyeing to have their own artificial top or playing ground where they can play, because pitch or playing grounds is one of the biggest challenges as we are currently facing now. So I think when clubs are having their grounds, it's going to give us the opportunity. Hawks is also having theirs in Kabakel. So that's going to give us a very good number, so they can play all their home matches, and then away matches can also be played at other venues where we have comfortable pitches. So Big Sam, I think if we are able to tackle that, we will definitely have the advancement of our football.
And of course, and as for FF, that is the GFF Place, the Independent Stadium, and all other municipal local grounds should be upgraded. And then we've seen a little bit transmission from Serekunda West to etc. So I think we definitely need that, and that will help our teams and our players, and also can lead a smooth way to the professionalism of our dear sports, that is the Gambia First Division League. Away from that, the summer Navetan, the summer football jamboree called Navetan, kick-started in most of the regions. In fact, you guys were forced at Serekunda West, which was a huge crowd, and the ground was good, a very fantastic. And then from there, all the grounds, Brikama, all big grounds, Serekunda West, the provinces, all are on. Yeah, tell us a little bit about the Navetan Jamboree as far as you guys are concerned, and you in particular, Pa.
Yes, Nawetan is one of the most followed sports of football in the Gambia, because this is where we have ownership. If a team in Brikama, maybe from our very own area, is playing, everybody coming from the elderly, the young boys and girls will all say, our brothers are playing, we all have to go. So this is why when you go to Nawetan matches, you see a massive, massive turnout. I've been to Serekunda East last time, their last final this year. Most of the times I talk to people, I say Serekunda is the best when it comes to the turnout. I've been to Serekunda West this year. Looking at the Super Cup was massively, massively attended, Big Sam. And also, after that, we've also came back to the Box Bar Mini Stadium to say. So I think, Big Sam, there is a little bit of a competition between zones. Brikama will always want to make sure we produce as many supporters or fans as possible. Serekunda East will always tell them, we are never a match to Brikama and Serekunda West. West will always tell you, the West side is the best side as always. So I think it's a stiff competition when it comes to the turnout during Noetan matches. And then I think, Big Sam, this is definitely very good for our sports, because this is an avenue where coaches will go around to check on players. I've met few coaches at the Serekunda East, Serekunda West, and Brikama, who told me, Pa, the moment I see you, I will tell them, I know your purpose of being here today, because they are there for scouting. So they are currently moving around the country to watch Nawetan matches, to have the opportunity to have players for their third division teams, for their second division teams, and also for the first division team. So I think it's a very good point where coaches can definitely go to and then pick players. But I think as far as Nawetan is concerned, it's definitely amazing. Like, entertainment is, you cannot match it to the league football, because league matches hardly you see a team with fan base. But you go to Brikama, most of the teams will have their supporters. Serekunda is, you go there, every team is having their set of supporters. And then Serekunda West as well, and any other zone. And Big Sam, sometimes at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, our location is very close to where some of the supporters are. Sometimes the entertainment that, we receive will sometimes distract you a little bit, because at some point you tend to keep more focus on those that are outside than infield. So it's like the fans are definitely doing a fantastic work. I could remember yesterday when I was at the Box Bar, this was the game where when Santosu was playing. I told somebody, I said, Santosu first class, great game. So the tempo was just up there, and then the supporters were just on top of their voices from the word go to the final whistle. That was the most interesting game so far that I watched at the Box Bar this season. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Parliament Party. Remember, this is Sports 360 Live on Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution. My name is Pakarimani, aka Big Sam, the host and the presenter, and Parliament Party LSTV is my guest. let's go international now. Of recent, we know Gambia national team is doing fantastic, but oh my, we've dropped from the AFCON, and we got a little slim chance to the World Cup. Our last game we played against Kenya in their own backyard. Everybody was happy. They were saying this could have come before. It comes later. We defeat them by 3 goals to 1. In fact, their consolation come later in the second half. And we're playing tomorrow with Burundi at the same stadium.
Yeah.
Your take of the Gambia national?
Big Sam, I think the Gambia is definitely progressing. Initially, it's very challenging to see Gambian players. It's very difficult to see a Gambian player playing in the Premier League, playing in the top 5 leagues in Europe. But now I think that is a thing of the past. Now people can boldly tell you, we want to watch Yankuba Minte in the Premier League. We want to watch Musa Barrow in the Saudi Pro League. We want to watch so and so in so league. So I think as far as development is concerned, we are now having a whole lot of Gambian players that are leaving our league. Maybe in a day or two, you will see a Gambian player leaving the Gambia to join a particular team in Europe on trials or by contract or permanent deal. So I think as far as the advancement is concerned, we are definitely improving. And then coming to the qualifiers, I think we got qualification in the AFCON twice. So the objective is now to get the team to the World Cup.
Yeah.
That is currently the biggest dream for every Gambian, and I think it's going to be a massive celebration for the Gambia if we should get the team to World Cup. So, but I think Big Sam, getting to the World Cup in 2026 is impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible because I think we should have done better in our previous matches. The game that we played against Kenya, I think if this was the way we played all our matches, I think we should have now been challenging Ivory Coast and Gabon to be able to have the chance of finishing top in our group. And looking at the gap between the Gambia and Ivory Coast, Gabon, and even Burundi is definitely wide. Ivory Coast is with 19 points, Gabon is with 18, and then Burundi with 10, Gambia with 7 points, and then Kenya with 6, and then Seychelles. I think they are the inferior with 0 points. So I can say it's impossible. But I think this is also going to serve as a learning point.
Yeah.
And then for the Gambia to build up a very good team for the upcoming AFCON, and also having the chance of playing the World Cup qualifiers and having the chance to be in the World Cup for the very first time, it should definitely be the biggest dream of every Gambian for now.
Most definitely. They let it, but they let it lead. That's what we should say. But anyway, before we go, maybe as a sports, you want to share something with my audience, because we've already gone out of the line right now.
Big Sam, I think I wouldn't have much to say, and then I think I have to send a massive congratulations to Atlantic TV. I think I'm a keen follower of this TV. Most of the programs that you host, and then I watch. So I think the TV is definitely changing the dynamics as far as the TV broadcasting in the Gambia is concerned. I think giving some of the sports journalists the platform.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any online platform that is doing more than what Atlantic TV is doing, because I've seen a whole lot of sports journalists here. I've also seen a whole lot of people that are into sports in the Gambia on this platform. So I think Atlantic TV, we have to commend them. And also those that are following the TV, they are the people, that is why Atlantic TV is moving. Without them, there is no Atlantic TV, because you need the followers to make sure at least you have the TV growing. So I think I'll still encourage people to subscribe and follow Atlantic TV to have the chance of seeing a whole lot of younger sports journalists or upcoming sports journalists like myself and other sports journalists that are given the opportunity. And we cannot develop sports without journalists, and journalists also cannot go without followers. So on behalf of Atlantic TV, I want to encourage every follower to keep following Atlantic TV, and also help come together to help our football advance as far as Nawetan league matches is concerned. But Big Sam, I also want to talk a little about female football in the division. We've seen Berewuleng, we've seen TMT, we've seen Red Scorpions. I think initially it used to be all Red Scorpions. But this time around, we've seen Berewuleng taking the mantle, winning the FF Cup and the league at the expense of Red Scorpions. and then I can tell people the teams that I saw with Berewuleng and TMT Red Scorpions will have a lot of work to do in the subsequent seasons. So I think Gambian football, when it comes to female football, is also on the ascendancy. We are definitely growing. Female football, initially it used to be a male dominated, like football in general used to be a male dominated thing. You ask female players to go and play, they will tell you it's not an area for the female. But I think that notion and perception is now fading away, and then we are now doing fantastic well in terms of having good teams. So on that note, I believe we're going to have a very competitive league come next season when it comes to female football and also male football. So on that note, Big Sam, I wouldn't want to prolong this. The only thing that I want to say, thank you, thank the entire management and staff of Atlantic TV, all the followers, and then it's always a pleasure to be back here, Big Sam.
Thank you very much, Pa. And we also will want to acknowledge and see it's real that LSTV is one of Gambia's #1 TV, sport TV, currently streaming everything. Thanks for coming to, Pa. Although, like I said, all my kids, here is your home. You need not to, but thank you so much for coming. On that note, thank you so much, my dear viewers out there. Thank you for being with you. We'll come in with more interesting sports program on this called Sports 360 Live. Meanwhile, big thanks to Kumbisla class Sleeping Kumba, and thank you very much to Aminata Ali Badrasada, the boys from countryside, you know. And thanks to the one and only Mariama is there. All right, thank you. And the one and only, the man behind the keyboard, the head of the TV, that is Matar Job. On that note, thank you so much. Keep on sporting. Bye.